If you hear a little bubbling over here on the side, it's some water. We're gonna need that because I am making Brussels sprouts with bacon and shallots and a little balsamic vinegar reduction. You're gonna wanna stick around for this. So the Brussels sprout, when I was a kid, nobody liked these things because my mother would boil them within an inch of their life, and then you were lucky if you got a little butter or a little salt and pepper on that because it wasn't good. It was just kind of, it tasted terrible. I don't even know what to say, but I'm gonna show you a way to make this taste absolutely delicious. The little bit of bacon in there is gonna just give you that little salty crunchy, and the balsamic vinegar reduction is going to bring it all alive with that acid. So let's get right to this. No more boring Brussels sprouts, guys. It's over. Okay, I'm gonna get these prepped. So it's really easy. You have these little, it looks like it's gonna fly away. You have these little leaves that are kind of loose. You wanna take those off, cut that end off there. Not too close, everything will fall apart. And then you're gonna slice that in half. So these are all cut up now. And that was about a pound of Brussels sprouts. So now we're gonna get to this boiling water because I'm gonna blanch the Brussels sprouts so they don't taste so raw when I actually do cook them. And I have a bowl of ice water, which is now melted a little bit, but that's okay. Just put plenty of ice in there if you want it to be really cold because we're gonna shock the vegetable in there. Make sure your water is salted. And get the water back up to a boil, and I'm gonna put that in. And these are just gonna stay in there for a little bit. I just want them to not be so raw. You don't wanna overcook them because then they'll be mushy. So you still want it to have a little bit of a crunch to it, but not too much. And we're gonna put this into the water, stop it from cooking. And it's a beautiful green. And I'm gonna drain these and dry them and set them aside. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make the balsamic vinegar reduction. I know this looks like a lot, but it's going to go in the pot for about 5 minutes. It's gonna reduce down by half. And it's gonna have like a very syrupy texture to it. And I'll show you exactly how you'll know it's ready. You want that texture because it actually makes it a little bit sweeter. So that acid, but a sweet acid on top of the Brussels sprouts, and then with the bacon, just saying, it's good. So I'm gonna pour that in, and I'm gonna bring it to a boil. So it's come to a boil, I'm gonna reduce the heat, and I just want you to notice something. You see how right now, nothing is sticking to the spoon or the back of the spoon. So when the reduction is finished, you're gonna see a coat on the back of the spoon, and that's gonna let you know that it's ready. It's gone to that syrupy stage. So let's reduce the heat and just kind of let it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. And we'll keep checking it. So I'm gonna thinly slice the shallots, and just a little note for you. When you're slicing, there's like the root end, you don't wanna cut that side, you wanna cut the other side, and that way it'll stay together. So we're gonna go ahead and mince it. So I'm just following along the little lines there, and it tells you what to do. And then, when you go in, so you have your nice fine mince. I'm gonna come back in and check on this, give it a little stir. And it's slowly, very slowly starting to get a coating on it. We're not there yet. So this is done. You can see it's a nice syrup now. And it's coating the spoon, so that's how you know you've got it to where it wants to be. Look how much that cooked down. The balsamic vinegar is reduced, and so now we're just gonna put everything together. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm gonna fry up a little bacon. And this pan seems a little small, but it's going to cook down. So just for variation, you can use pancetta if you want to, instead of the bacon. So you would cut it into little cubes, and that gives it a whole different texture. Or you can completely omit the bacon and just have it be straight up vegetarian. So I made these good and crispy. And remove them from the heat. Pat off some of that grease. Now, all of this yummy, good bacon fat is not gonna go to waste. I'm gonna add a little bit of avocado oil to this and bring my shallots in, then my Brussels sprouts, and then we're gonna cook that all up. So you're gonna get all those flavors of the drippings. So I'm adding the avocado oil and my shallots that I sliced earlier, or diced earlier, excuse me. Smells good. And let's bring in those Brussels sprouts. Now I'm going to season these with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I don't want to use too much because we have the bacon and that's already salty, but it's about layering the flavors, so you don't want it to be completely bland. And I'm going to cook these until they're a little bit brown and a little more tender. And then we will be ready to eat. So these are about done. I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to grab my crispy bacon and I'm just going to crumble that all in there. It's better to crumble it with your hands. You could cut it up if you want to, but your hands are a great tool. And I'm going to crumble the rest of that bacon on there. There's still a little bit left. So you could drizzle this on the whole dish. I prefer to let everybody just do it themselves. Then they have just the right amount, or if they don't want it at all, they can skip it. So what I would do is drizzle just a little bit of that on there. Look how syrupy it is. This is a really simple side dish. It doesn't take any time to make, and like I said, you can omit the bacon or the pancetta if that's what you're using and make it completely vegetarian. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see more videos like this, check out my side dish playlist. I will see you in the next video.